outline and border stitches is really used just for border, although you could use it for an outline if you stitched very small. And that's our herringbone stitch. And any of these stitches, you could draw a pattern and follow that pattern or line to help you guide yourself. This is one that we really want to draw a light line to guide ourselves. So we're going to draw one line for the bottom, and we're going to draw another line across for the top. And that's going to help us keep them pretty evenly spaced. Herringbone stitch, instead of making a line, makes a pattern. And we're going to start on the bottom row. We're just going to come up, pull it all the way through. And you might notice that my thread is a little longer than normal on this one because it does use up a lot of thread, particularly if your lines are spaced pretty widely like mine. So I'm going to start with kind of a wide herringbone, and then I'll do a little bit narrower on the other end so you can see what that looks like. So I'm going to go to the top, and this is where this kind of fabric is very helpful because you can kind of see the threads. So I'm going to kind of follow the thread up, and then I'm going to go a little bit to the right, and I'm going to go down and back up in a nice little stitch, pull it all the way through. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm not going to go directly below this. I'm going to come down and again move a little bit to the right. And pull it all the way through. And then I go up to the top, a little bit to the right, and pull it through. And down to the bottom, and a little bit to the right. And go through and back up. And if your thread moves around, just move it back out of your way. Okay? So, okay. And go up to the right, take a stitch. I'm going to go down to the right, take a stitch. And so you can see it's making this cool kind of, they call it a herringbone because that's kind of what it looks like, a little cross hatch pattern. I'm going to take the next few stitches a lot smaller and closer together so you can kind of see what it looks like there, because right now it's nice and open. So again, I'm going to go up. I'm just going to go a tiny bit to the right. I'm going to take a smaller stitch. I'm going to come down again a tiny bit to the right, take a small stitch, and up to the right, little stitch, down to the right, a little stitch. And you can see that this is a nice, you can make kind of different, you can fill it into different degrees depending on how widely you are spacing your stitch, and also how wide you draw your two lines apart. This could be half of this width, it could be double this width, right? So these could be much, much taller if I wanted, or much, much shorter, right? So you can make it, you can do a lot of interesting different details with this kind of stitch. Just going to finish off these last few stitches. I find it helpful to not just guess where the up and down is. I find it helpful to actually look and kind of trace the line with my needle so that I'm doing it pretty evenly. Nice teeny tiny little stitches. Doo-doo. And as you can see, I'm almost to the end of that long piece of thread because you spend a lot of thread going up and down. So I'm going to go through here at the end. Okay. I'm going to anchor it off inside, on the back I mean. And on the back, it really just looks like a couple rows of running stitches that were worked in parallel. Like if you had seen it from the back as I was working, it didn't go like that when this one, this one, this one, up and down. Okay, so just like all the others, I'm gonna secure it just so that it doesn't start to come undone by just winding it under a few of the last stitches, And then I will cut off my extra. Ta-da! Herringbone stitch.